Hey there, and welcome to my channel. This is Tasha Salinas, and I am your emotional embodiment coach. I'm your enlightenment coach. I'm your friend. I'm psychic channel. What? I'm a anointed minister. I'm a speaker. I'm all the things. And here on the anniversary of 9/11, and in light of recent circumstances here in our country, I'm here just like everybody else with a voice and a message. And my message that I get to share with my voice is to teach them to self-soothe. And so, as many of you guys know, I have dealt with crippling anxiety over the years since the initial phases of my spiritual awakening. And spiritual awakening, it's a very nuanced process. And we never really arrive, we just come back to the right now moment. When we know who we are, we get back very, very, very present. Because who we are is not these bodies. We are actually the consciousness of God incarnated into these bodies. And so, as such, we all have the capacity to feel love, to feel compassion, to feel passion, to feel anger, to feel, period. And so, because we are all connected, thank you, metaphysics, for reminding us that the physicality of humanity is vastly different than we've believed that it is. So what do you as a human being, in light of right now in our society, what can you do? Well, you can self-soothe. Because as a spirit, as an energy in your physical body, you are both an antenna and a transmitter. So you receive energy and you transmit energy. So when you know who you are, at your core, you trust that, and the expression comes through you. But when you don't really know at the core of your essence who you are, then you speak from your thoughts and you speak from your beliefs. Speaking is wonderful. Clearly, I'm a voice. I'm an instrument. Ooh, my nose is itching. That's a spiritual signal for Tasha. But when you know that you are not your thoughts or even your beliefs, then your expression shifts rapidly. And you start to do things that we were once taught to put on a pedestal. And the truth of the matter is you are the pedestal. You're on it. You are the pedestal. You're the air around it. You're the inspiration of what put it on there to begin with. You are also the thing to knock yourself off and understand that we are all sitting shoulder to shoulder. So when we know ourselves and we know how to self-soothe, then we can stand up after chaos. We can stand as the dust settles. We are still standing. Because it's as if something inside of us has guided our steps. And every single incarnation of the essence that is God, that is love, has a sole purpose, a mission. And whether it looks tragic to others or not, the truth of the matter is you. You only ever experience your nervous system. Teach them to self-soothe. Breathe, baby, breathe. Understand and know that you've been stimulated and activated for a reason. When you know how to calm your inner energy and open up your mind to what can I learn from this? How can this be another tool in my tool belt? You begin to open up to the possibility of higher information and higher guidance. And this is not about following any person, religion, or anything. This is following your soul. This is allowing the soul to lead. And for Tasha, that meant understanding the Hermetic principle, as above, so below, as within, so without. Remembering that we only ever experience our nervous system means that if I am dysregulated, then my whole exterior, my whole external life is out of regulation. It's dysregulated. It's in disarray. However, when I allow the storm to settle on the inside, I find my Savior, who asks me on the deep inside, why did you doubt? Because on the boat, in the vessel was 12 disciples watching the Christed one transcend physicality. How does that work? We always want to know how it works. The work works. Know yourself. Expose your inner shadows. Where have you just been patterning a belief that you were told is reality? We can choose to be a boat on top of the water. We can choose to understand that we are also the water. And that when the water in the harbor rises, all boats rise. Honey, child, where we are in evolution is that we're ascending. We're entering a less dense area of the cosmos in this time-space reality. And as such, Gaia, the earth, is going through a metamorphosis. All of the toxins are being purged. The purge of the priesthood. We are all kings and queens. We are all priests and priestesses. Depending if we're looking from a more masculine, linear king hierarchy, kings and queens, or if we're looking at a more feminine priest and priestess, the soulful, the spiritual, bringing them together, Western thought, Eastern thought, Western philosophy, Eastern philosophy, left brain, right brain, masculine, feminine, yin yang, yang yang. As we find our sense of balance on the inside, that shifts and changes the trajectory of the outside. And so to get kind of esoteric, what's happening is the planet is moving to a more light way of being. And just like what happens with us when we change our thoughts, there's a time of changing your thoughts to when you see that actually manifested in your actual physical reality. It's manifestation. We're all finding out that we are our God selves. And in choosing peace first, we create peace on earth. Because our bodies are honestly mirrored by the earth herself. And there's a whole host of cosmos that are here ready and able to assist us. God is love. God is energy. Everything is energy. Your consciousness, these words, your thoughts, and the feelings that are running through your body is energy. And so when you know how to keep that energy settled, then you have clarity of thought. When you keep your physical energy settled, you're able to tap in to the consciousness that transcends all understanding. The Christed consciousness is yours for the receiving, should you so choose to allow every thought to be spit through the filter, sifted, pushed, pressed, made obedient, every thought to be made obedient to the conscious awareness that you have as a creator being. Take every thought and ensure that it is in service to yours and the collective higher good, because as within, so without. So as everyone's social media is on fire, and we're not going to have a reprieve, this is the time of a systemic change in our society as Americans. This is the time that we get to use AI and mass media for good. And it's already happening. Those of you who are awake and aware, intentional and conscious, and not by way of pushing any agenda, including your understanding of justice. As we come back to our center, we understand and know the higher way is one of neutrality. If you can't find neutrality, then maybe you should shut your mouth. Examine all of the energetic thought forms that you're clinging to as belief, as right and wrong. We all understand inherently morality. We all understand the sanctity of life. If you don't have an innate understanding of that, you're not watching this video anyway. But for the rest of you, you are welcome. And this is the mantle of responsibility. Pick up your cross as you think and feel. Balance your logic and your intuition and express from that place of centeredness. Know who you are. Trust who you are. Express. Do the work of inner balance. Do the work. Were there people on either side of Jesus? One made it, one didn't. What happened? What was the intersection of that expression or that moment in this day, right now? That one person recognized where they had fallen short, where they had sinned. Sin is just a misalignment of your thinking that has manifested out. The sin is in the thought itself, and the rest of that's just the fallout, the domino effect. But where repentance comes in, and none of this is religious, by the way. I just get to use these words because they are catalyzing, they're activating, and they are triggering for some people. TLDR, know yourself. Know that I got hiccups. Your free will determines the steps that you take based on the thoughts that you think, based on the beliefs that you form. When you strip it all bare and you press it through the sieve of your Christed awareness, there's a lot that gets left behind. There's a lot that gets released, and there's a lot that has to die. And I'm not talking about people, I'm talking about thought forms inside of yourself. So the only responsibility that you have is to calm yourself, to soothe yourself. And the next step will magically, divinely, anointingly make its way right before you. And it's effortless to walk in tandem with the purity of who you actually are. And so with that, I'm just one voice among the many, but I'm also the voice of the awakening. I've also been shown and told to teach them to self-soothe. This morning, I woke up very ungrounded. Yesterday, I woke up very ungrounded. And there are things in my immediate environment that are hyperstimulating my nervous system. And so I get to be extremely particular about what frequencies, what energies, what thought forms, what practices and habits, and all the things. I get to be particular about what is pure for me. And as a pure vessel, my aim is to understand that I am to be in submission of the higher work, to be the voice of the awakening and the daughter of the dream. I don't have a dream. I am the dream. You are the dream. We are the dreamer. Close your eyes and see the truth. Know the truth. Be still and know. Gosh, this is charged. I'm going to leave it at that. I love you and I wish you well. And I'll be back. I'll be back very, very soon. I'm just finding my way. Goodbye.